right, welcome everyone back to another episode of Muggle with a Mic. Katie here, as usual, but I'm joined again by our movie guru, Jonah. Hey, Jonah.
Hi.
Hey. We're gonna go straight into mugs before we get into any movie talk. We are doing Killers of the Flower Moon, but apparently Jonah has something that he needs to just show right away. So go for it.
As we've established, I do not own mugs because I'm not 80. But I'm just kidding.
Why does a mug constitute age?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. So Katie told me to bring some sort of movie related item. So I did bring one, and it's cutting off my circulation a lot because I have fat hands. But here it is.
Is that from Barbie?
No, what?
Oh, no, wait, I know. It's your favorite movie. It's the Hot Dog Fingers.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, the best movie ever.
That's hilarious. You could have just gotten some hot dogs and put them on your hand.
That's true, but you know, these are more authentic.
That is true. Let me refresh you real quick. There you go. Try it again. Modeling.
These look great.
You know, Vanna White should use that whenever she's...
That's what I'm saying. But I tell you what, I've got such fat hands that, like, I literally can't, like, this is not working as it should. It's literally cutting off my circulation. It's insane.
Do you only have one or two hands?
I have two. Okay. I could not fit the other one on because it wasn't even able to get this one on.
I gotcha.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
You okay now?
And then I brought something else. If that one's not as exciting.
Go for it.
I brought something else. Is a script to the film Minari, which is one of my favorite movies, but it's signed by Steven Yeun, who starred in the movie, who's one of my favorite actors working right now.
Yeah.
And Minari is an incredible movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It is amazing. It's not a Martin Scorsese movie, but I don't know. It's related. I don't know.
It's a cool movie memorabilia. I have one here. By the way, Steven probably really doesn't like baseball bats anymore, right?
Steven, oh yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. I have movie memorabilia. Let me get it. I have it right here. Did you ever watch Turn: Washington Spies on AMC?
No.
It has Jamie.
Dornan?
He was in. No, not Jamie Dornan.
No, Jamie Dornan.
Jamie Bell.
Jamie Bell. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love him as an actor.
Bell, the less cool Jamie.
I think he's equally cool.
I don't know. I like Jamie Dornan a lot. I think he's a really good actor.
I do love Jamie. He's Irish. Jamie Dornan. We'll call him Dornan and Bell. That needs to be a law associate. Dornan and Bell.
I was going to say like a sitcom, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like The Odd Couple. No, but it's actual from the show. And it's...
Whoa.
There was a time when on one of the seasons where they had counterfeit money. So this is a $50 counterfeit money that they used in the set. So yeah, you like that?
Pretty sick.
Yeah. So I really watch that show. It's a really good show. It's got a lot of good history in it.
Oh, what in the world?
Okay, so we had a little glitch, but here I've got my mug.
I would love to see it.
Okay, so it's a Native American movie, so I brought back out my Tecumseh mug.
Tecumseh, I've heard that before.
Tecumseh.
I think I've been to that.
He lived in the Chillicothe area.
Wasn't there like an outside play with Tecumseh?
It's called an outdoor drama.
Okay. I think I went to that in middle school when I was a child.
It's like been running for like 30 years or something like that. Yeah.
All I remember is being absolutely bored out of my mind for 3 hours. Like literally an 8th grader watching a show. It's not fun for an 8th grader. I'm sure it's great now. I didn't enjoy it then.
Did you like the they have live horses that they ride up and down the stage? Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, and the neat thing is the backdrop is nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like fake thing on a stage. It's an actual creek that goes behind the stage.
Agreed. And
Yeah.
it is cool. The setup's definitely cool, but again, I was probably 14, so like I didn't care.
Right.
I was like, what, 8 years ago? I mean, I don't really care about stuff like that. I didn't care about stuff like that at that time. So that great mug. Great. Clearly an amazing mug.
All right, let's talk about movie lengths now.
Movie lengths.
Okay, so every movie's different. This movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, was 3 hours and 26 minutes.
Correct.
How do you feel about that, Jonah?
So I've heard this said before. I'm not taking credit for this at all, but I am of the philosophy that however long a movie is how long that movie should be. No matter what. Is the filmmakers, they cut, edited, whether or not you like the length of it or you think it could have been long, think given it shorter, it's how long it was supposed to be, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, obviously there's a lot of movies that feel long, feel slow, feel dragged on. If we're just talking about how long a movie is, there's also movies that feel way too fast, like there's more stories that could have been told. As far as this movie goes, I may have maybe an unpopular take, but I think this movie was the correct length. I never felt the time. Once I felt like it was a 2-hour movie. I was shocked whenever it ended. I really was. I was like, is there not more movie? I was so confused. It is excellent. I think, and the people I've spoke to, at least, they haven't felt the runtime either. Like it just flies by and is so, the pacing, Martin Scorsese's pacing, like in all of his movies, is just cannot be matched. He knows how to go from scene to scene. It is just incredible. I think this movie is amazing, and I get why a lot of people are a little upset at the runtime, especially it sounds very drastic whenever you first look at it, but I tell you what, when you sit in that theater and you watch it, I mean, you can't stop. I just I couldn't stop. Loved every second of it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
It was too damn long.
Yeah, I don't agree, man.
Okay, but here's my thing. Okay, first of all, we're going to go ahead and kind of get into movie talk, and we'll transition fully into movie talk. But I read the book, okay? I got it right here.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I read it all. It reads like more like a nonfiction than a fiction. It just is information after information. You can see in here they have pictures of all the people, all the real life people. So what I will say is, honestly, at the end of the movie, I felt like there was a lot of left out of the movie that was in the book that would have been helpful. But then I think to myself, but then it would be a 5-hour movie. You can't do that. But I will say, this type of movie is all about the story. Mm-hmm. Yes, cinematography wise, beautiful. You're not gonna go wrong with Scorsese. But if you're telling the story, I feel like I did not think he told the story well in the time allotted for me, based off of after reading the book.
Right. I haven't read the book, so I'm coming from this not knowing the original story, just knowing the movie.
Yeah. I think if he was given 3.5 hours to tell the story of that book, I don't think he did the book justice.
Obviously, I can't speak to that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I honestly just don't know.
No, these are the two different takes. So it's nice to hear someone who didn't read the book and just went and watched the movie, learned the information for the first time, and then somebody who's read the book and is comparing it to that. So I don't like those snobs that say the book was better than the movie. I don't like those people, because you go make the movie then.
Right. They're also completely different forms of media. You can't. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's kind of. I don't particularly enjoy comparing. You can't books. They give you all the extra details that you want because you're reading the book. Movies cut that down because you're watching a movie. That's like kind of the purpose of just read the book if you want the extra details. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I get it.
Do you know The Muffin Man. No, not that. Do you know the longest movie runtimes?
I know there's a movie. Oh gosh, I can see the image in my head. I know Lawrence of Arabia is really long. How long is Lawrence of Arabia?
That's one of the longest at 3:42.
3:42. There's an Amadeus.
Oh, Amadeus about Mozart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That I don't have that. I don't have that one length on here.
Okay, Gone with the Wind, obviously, but it's not even that long.
No, Gone with the Wind is 3:58. It's almost 4 hours. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was. I don't know why I thought it was a lot shorter than that. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes shy of 4 hours. It's longer than a football game.
Is that the longest movie ever? What's the longest movie ever?
So, if we want to get specific, like we're not talking like, box office. This is the longest movie ever. It is called Logistics Art Project. It's a 2012 Swedish experimental film conceived and created by Eric Magnusson and Daniel Adderson at 51,420 minutes or 857 hours or 35 days and 17 hours. It's the longest film ever made.
Yeah. I've heard of this. I will never watch this. I refuse.
You'd miss out on a month of your life.
I think it's just a practical joke. I don't know. I've heard of this.
It's an experiment.
I agree. And it is an experiment. It's experimentally stupid. I just don't. Cool. I don't think that counts, though. I don't know if that counts.
Cool.
Why did they? Here's my question. They understood that to be the longest movie ever, all you had to do was go for 5-6 hours. You didn't have to go for 35. Were they afraid someone was going to go to 34 days? I don't understand.
Well, they conceived the idea to follow the production cycle of a pedometer in reverse chronological order from end sales back to its origin in manufacture. So it's about a pedometer.
Just the why. I don't understand. Yeah, I took a video of me looking at toast for 8 years, and now it's the longest movie ever made. I don't understand.
Seriously, as long as you hit record and you put things together, I guess it's considered a movie.
The longest movie ever made.
Oh, Sage. They have the worst land possible. But they outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it. Black gold. Money flows freely here now.
I do love that money, sir.
Came out this year, 2023. It's rated R, clearly. So basically, it's the Osage tribe. We're on oil-rich land, and then a bunch of white men came in and were trying to take it from them. Take all their land, take all their money, everything.
Secretly.
Yeah.
And slowly. So
what do you think of this story, the fact that it's a true story? What are your thoughts on that?
Excellent. I thought, it just, there's so many true story movies out there, and just they never cease to blow your mind about how terrible white people are. Just gotta be honest, man. They just are the worst and forever will be, because they suck. And it was so sad. It was so sad to see the terrible, terrible things happen, that these white people just kept gaslighting this entire town into thinking that it was all just accidents and that it wasn't actually real, essentially.
Well, and the fact that they knew the Osage knew they weren't accidents. After about 3 of them, and 2 of them being her family members, it's like they knew, but they're held hostage there by the government and everything. There's nothing they can do. It's just terrible. It's the same thing with the Tulsa massacre and everything. Why were we not taught this? I saw a great interview with Tom Hanks where he never knew about the Tulsa Massacre, which they mention in this movie. They mention it in the book, I believe. But, you know, we were never taught this stuff in school. Why? Why? Because who's writing these books? Yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
I could tell you.
So, I mean, I'm glad that, I mean, where I'm going with Martin Scorsese doing the movie and everything, we can criticize it however we want, how he told the story, but at least the story is out there.
Correct.
The guy who wrote the book, David Gran, and Martin Scorsese have helped the majority of the public know about this story now.
Correct. And I think we're better off because of it now that this story's out there. And it does, and truly it does stink in a way that a white dude had to tell it. Like, it does kind of suck, but I just don't think this movie would have been made otherwise if Martin Scorsese wasn't attached to it, to be honest with you. At least not in the way it was. Yeah. With such an insane production and just, it would not, the story would not have been told the way it was. The movie's ending is one of my absolute favorite endings of the whole year. Maybe my favorite. It is incredible. You got to admit, it is incredible.
So, are you meaning a scene or the last view of the camera going up, or are you talking about the radio?
The radio scene.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
nothing I've ever seen before.
Here's the thing. I had a lot of thoughts going through my mind when that scene was taking place, because I knew from the book, because they mention it in the book, that Lucky Strike had that Lucky Strike hour. And basically, my one friend who went with me, Jenna, if you're listening, she sometimes listens. She was like, well, apparently we didn't invent the true crime podcast because they had it way back then, and everyone was enthralled by it. But so I was thinking that. I was also thinking, this is, how terrible is it that people are profiting off of the genocide of people, and Lucky Strike's getting viewers to listen in on it and all that stuff. But at the same time, you're like torn, because it's like you want people to be educated and know about it, but then people are profiting off of their deaths, and it puts a lot into perspective. That whole scene. Sure.
It's just so good.
And,
so well made.
White Stripes
ties everything in a great bow, huh?
Did you realize the Jack from White Stripes was the first guy that was in that scene?
I recognized him. Yeah, Jack from the White Stripes.
Yeah,
Jack White. I think is his name, right?
Yes.
I think is his name. Yeah, it's like it's his name. Yeah, and Martin Scorsese was in it. Yeah,
yeah, and it's just so tragic that I guess maybe now that I think of it, I might have just had an epiphany. But like, Martin reads out her obituary, which it's in the book again, but it says just very basic. It says nothing about her entire family and tribe were murdered. It just says she's buried, she died, the end. And I was kind of upset with I heard some Osage Indians of today criticize the movie that Molly and the Native Americans weren't as prominent in the movie as the white men who killed them.
Correct.
And I agree with that. But almost now, if you think about it, that's how her obituary was. She was an afterthought. Everyone knew about William Hale. Everyone knew about Ernest Burkhart. Nothing was remembered of the people who died.
That was definitely the point.
Yeah.
100% is that, they continue to be overlooked and overshadowed, which is kind of why they did all that crap in the first place. They wanted to be the victors. They wanted to be on top.